Martin Parr's photographs capture the frozen moment. They offer fleeting glimpses into passing lives, framed and constrained by the parameters of the print. Who are these subjects? We rarely find out. They are dispossessed of literal voices, as all photographic subjects are. Instead, it is left to our imaginations to fill in the gaps. We look through and beyond the pictures and wonder about the lives they are leading, their hopes, their troubles, their desires. We hear their words, their laughter, the chatter of their everyday conversation. I have taken the utmost liberty in attempting to bring these voices into being. To do so, I've created imaginary monologues or overheard snippets of conversation, the fictionalised thoughts of real people echoing down the years from Salford in 1986 to the here and now in Manchester 2018-2019. This is the sales pitch from a lingerie party, and I've called it Reinforced Gusset. Now the gusset on this is reinforced so that it won't perish. You could dangle a hanging basket off it and it'll still keep its shape. The Russians could drop a bomb on Salford and this bodice will still be intact, trust me. The ribbon is made from a silk-like material and the shoulder straps utilise an elastic that has been approved by NASA, which means this piece is literally out of this world. There's a simple snap triple clasp on the back for easy access for hubby's big, clumsy, greasy fingers on a Saturday night. And even the most stubborn, unwanted stains will wash out at a high temperature. I have it on very good authority that Bo Derek has the exact same one, only hers is in lilac. Any old iron. They say I'm like one of them wombles. I pick up the stuff everyday folk leave behind. They say there are no jobs these days, but there's always money to be made. One man's rubbish is another man's treasure. All you need is a cart and a pair of eyes. It's just a case of knowing where to look. Lead pipes, old bikes, pram wheels, washing machine parts, busted irons, car tyres, anything. Someone gave us a life-size Buddha once. It weighed a ton. I sold it to a bloke in Bacup who made his fortune in sunbeds. He weren't even a Buddhist, just like the look of it. We used to have horses then. We used to have 2 horses, but I lost them in a bet. Anyway, horses need hay and water and somewhere to graze, and who needs the hassle? I'm a free spirit, me, and I'll just do it on my toes now. And when I turn those toes to the sky, our Patrick will take over the business. I'm the Womble of Wythenshawe, me, Womble and free. The Salford Terminator. Quicksave is further than the others, but you get 4 cans of LCL up there for $1.80. I like the exercise anyway, me. Someone told us that LCL stands for low calorie lager. So when people ask how it is I maintain my impressive physique, I tell them it's down to a low calorie diet and regular elbow bending. I bet Schwarzenegger would walk the Quicksave. Actually, he probably has someone fetch his cans for him while he's out pumping iron. If it was me running the errand for him, I'd say, I'll be back on my way out. Sometimes I tell people I'm an android assassin full of wires. And once I said, your clothes, give them to me now. Just like the Terminator does. But it got me into a spot of bother because I was in a park and there was kiddies on the swings nearby. It was a misunderstanding. I've definitely not been back though. After this, I'm helping my mum get rid of some of her old man's clothes after we'd done a midnight flit at the weekend. It's the second fella in 18 months. These shoes are his. They're too good to chuck. They're Italian, like Paolo Rossi, like pizzas, like champagne. I've worked my way through all the horrors. I started in '82 with An American Werewolf in London, and I moved on to the nasties, and it's been 3 films a week ever since. I've seen stuff that the general public can't get their hands on, all under the counter like. Roy sorts me out. I Spit on Your Grave, Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Holocaust, all of that lot. Some of them are on Betamax, so now I've moved the engine parts out of the living room. I have 2 video players, one on top of the other. Got a little fridge in there, and sometimes when I can't be bothered to move in the middle of a film, I'll piss in a cup. It's one of the benefits of being Manchester's second most eligible bachelor. Morrissey's the first, of course. It said so in Our Kids Smash Hits. The amount I've spent on video rentals, I could probably have bought myself a souped up Kawasaki. But people reckon Texas Chainsaw's bad, but I thought it were funny, me. That bit where Leatherface comes bumbling through the house and the lass is trying to run away, and he puts her on the meat hook. It just weren't realistic, it made me laugh. I'm on the martial arts now. Bruce Lee's not all he's cracked up to be. Chuck Norris could have him easy. That bit where he gets killed at the Coliseum at the end of Way of the Dragon, that just weren't realistic either. Chuck would panel Lee, I reckon, but it's all scripted. Mind, there's a guy I know in Hume called Shuggy who could have them both, knee bother. I've seen him karate chop breeze blocks with his head. Can't see colours, mind. She's not been the same since the operation, you know. How come? She says the seepage is affecting her social life. Well, it would, wouldn't it? She's made herself a surgical truss from an old sock and her Keith's judo belt, but she still has to change it twice a day. Ah, it's such a shame. She were a brilliant tap dancer. Did you get the Angel Delight? Aye, butterscotch. I've developed a system. It's taken decades, but I've got there. See, what you do is, oh hang on, it's starting. There's mine in the green and yellow. Late Night Extra he's called. I put the rent on this one. Dead cert. The odds are long, but he's a surefire. How long? Long enough to feed and clothe the band for a year when he wins. Long enough to silence the missus's mithering. Come on, lad. Come on, Late Night Extra. Come on. That's it. That's it. Over you go. And the next one. Time to dig in. Come on, lad. Clear it. Good boy. Come on, Late Night Extra. They're pulling away, man. Come on. Who's this jockey? He's bloody useless. Come on, Late Night Extra. Come on. Where's he going? Who's this midget jockey? Come on, you piece of shit. Come on, you tin of dog meat. Fucking come on, Late Night Extra. Whip him, man. Whip him. Oh, he's down. He's fucking down. That's it. It's all over, man. That's it, it's gone, everything, the whole lot. There's nothing left. Nothing. She's gonna kill us. There's nothing. Punk's not dead, no way. Oi is dead, and New Romantic is dead, and the mod revival is dead, and Two-Tone Scar is dead, and New Wave is dead, and Poxy Heavy Metal is dead, and Poncy Synth Pop is dead, and Goth is dead. And I'd rather be dead than listen to Duran and cocking Duran, but punk will never die. It's a way of life, see? It's about being an individual and staying true and saying, fuck you. Yes, twice please, love. Scrapings on one and a pickled egg for my nan, please. Black Forest Gateau, is it? I love. Well, what's in it? Well, here, have a look. Cream, Morello cherries, glucose fructose syrup, plain chocolate drops, plain chocolate flakes, fat-reduced cocoa powder, emulsifiers, monofatty acids, wheat starch, acidity regulators, potassium citrates, calcium sulfate, calcium citrate, sodium citrate, citric acid, invert sugar syrup, modified maize starch, thickeners, sodium alginate, pectin, chocolate powder, dried whole milk, salt, concentrated carrot juice flavouring, sodium carbonates, beta-carotene, cocoa butter, concentrated butter, fat-reduced cocoa powder, soya lecithin. May also contain fruit stones or pips, sugar, wheat, flour and egg. Oh, and water. Ah, that's a shame, I can't have it. Why not? It's the water. It bloats as something rotten.